Greetings, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Michael, and it's great to have you with us live today. We're live on Zoom, we're live on YouTube. We're here to talk a little bit about what we've been building. I am a really big workflow expert. I've been working in the movie business for 25 years, but I really understand the workflow, and I'm passionate about that, and I want to make it better. And so Strada is a bunch of people that are working together to make workflow better using all the best and latest technology, and we call it Strada. And a lot of people are already on Strada. Some of you are starting to use it. Some of you just signed up. Some of you haven't yet. But we're going to talk about some really interesting concepts today. We're going to go over some demonstrations, and I'm going to show you a roadmap to the future of what we're going to be building. Now, on this call today, I have some friends of mine, some partners here. We've got my brother and co-founder, Peter. We've got our line producer, Margot, and our head of engineering, Austin. These webinars and sessions go great if you ask questions. So you can ask questions on YouTube. You can ask questions on Zoom. And I have an iPad here. I will get the questions, and then I can read them back and answer them. So please just ask questions. They can be about workflow, your workflow, the demonstration, the product, the roadmap, the cloud, anything. I'd love to help you get this stuff optimized for you. So today we're going to talk about a little bit of our vision, and then I'll show you the overview of the product. It's a really cool overview, and what we built in 18 months is really amazing. It's this really cool new collaboration platform that we're really proud of. Then we'll talk about our 2025 roadmap and where we're headed this year. I'll show you how to use the beta. Then I'll do a deeper dive demonstration of how you can apply it to some really specific workflows. Then we'll talk about pricing, and we'll wrap up. Again, ask questions. These sessions are really great. If you ask questions, Pete and Austin and Margot can answer some of them, and they can also send more of them to me. And we'd love to have you, get your questions answered. Okay, here's what's really fun. This is the fourth session we've done in 2025. You are Group D. So if you want a club to belong to, your club is Group D. Welcome, Group D. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate that. Okay, so why did we even start this business? Well, we actually noticed a problem, and I think you might have noticed this problem too. Creative teams are unable to consistently use the cloud across their workflow. Here's what I mean by that. My guess is that when you do a project, about 90% of that footage is on a hard drive, and maybe 10% of it is in the cloud. Does that sound familiar? Think about why that doesn't work. Right? Like, why is only a small portion of your material in the cloud and then most of it in the actual, hard drive? And then the fact is you have to decide what to upload, what not to upload, what to delete, what to replace. You have duplicate files, you have more copies, and you've got to manage permissions, and you have different third-party collaborators or businesses or companies or vendors. All of that makes this whole cloud thing kind of messy. And I'm a big user in the cloud. I'm a big fan of it, but I'm also kind of frustrated by how inconsistent my media is when I'm using cloud tools. And so what we can look at here is this little picture of like most of you, most of me, this is the way I work, is I really like hard drives for fast access. They're large. I've got these big RAIDs, but then this little percentage, I use products like Frame.io, Dropbox, and Google, or LucidLink. And I love the cloud for these reasons. It's centralized. I can use it for delivery. It's collaborative, but it's not fast. It's hard to upload, and it's really expensive. See, when we take this a little bit further, what we believe is a lot of products like this are great products. Maybe you use some of these: Vimeo, LucidLink, Signiant, Descript, Aspera. These are all great products, right? But there's something really interesting. There is a flaw in them. All of these products require you to upload to them, right? You have to take your files, you have to drag them in there, and then you have to wait for those files to upload. This is something that happens to all of us. And most of these products don't do anything until you upload files into them. Some of these products only do their job when you upload one file. They only support one transaction at a time. Others can do things in bulk, but you have to wait for them to upload. Wouldn't it be great if there was a better way? See, the problem, I think this is really problematic, is because video is so huge. Cloud products are great for documents, right? Even photos, but video is so big. It's 5,000 times bigger than a document. And that makes it really hard because our files are too big. We tend to shoot too much footage. The internet upload speeds are too slow. And then storage costs for clouds are too high. And even if you could put the storage in the cloud, you can't afford to keep it there because you can't leave it there for archive because it's too expensive month over month, year over year. And then our video software stack, it's too varied. What I mean by that is most of the tools that we use for editing video aren't in the cloud at all. We edit on local desktop computers. So my media is in the cloud, but I edit locally. So I need more copies, and some is uploaded, some is downloaded, some is cached, some is shared, some is reviewed, some is not. This is inconsistent. And if you really think about it, this is a big problem, and it influences your workflow and it slows it down. It makes it chunky, and you have to manage your own media for other people to manage the media. And I think we can solve this problem. And that's really what we're here to do. Strada is a collaboration platform, and we live at the center of every video production. We are starting to build what's called file virtualization. That means we can take media wherever it is and we can project it to you. We can send you the essence, the video of the video without having to have the file ourselves. And this allows Strada to live at the center and be a one-stop shop for collaboration, review, eventually commenting, live review, synchronous review, remote editing, and things like that. Now, we don't have all those features yet. We're just getting going in this. But the point I'm making is that Strada today can connect to Dropbox, Frame.io, and Google, and we can virtualize those clouds to you so you don't have to make a copy and upload files into Strada. Strada is not a storage cloud. In fact, it's technically not a cloud because we don't actually host any assets. We virtualize files in other clouds and send them to you. And then I'll show you what we're going to do in 2025 that makes this even better and more exciting. So the pillars of our platform look like this. We have built a core platform. We have built our phase 1 features, and then we are building phase 2 right now in 2025. So I want to show you a couple of things here. Our core platform consists of this. We have our bulk action. So one thing that's so important about Strada is you can do 1,000 clips at once. If you want to transcribe 1,000 clips, you can actually do that. You can actually do that. If you want to analyze 1,000 clips, we can analyze and tag 1,000 clips. And so this is designed to be done in bulk because a lot of products can only transcribe one file at a time, one interview. We can do 100. We can do hundreds of translations all at the same time. It's really cool. So that's really important in our core platform. We also have the ability to have user management. Strada is unlimited users. I really dislike products that are all priced based on users. And the reason I dislike this is because when I'm doing productions, I'm adding and subtracting people all the time because I need more people in one role and now I need fewer people, and I'm changing that. And if you have these products that charge you for users, you're always struggling with how many people can you add and subtract into the user. Does that sound familiar? It's really frustrating and it's really expensive. Even in Dropbox, there's just a limit to how many people you can have in your Dropbox. Now you have to go to another plan or another tier or pay more money. And this is a problem. So Strada is unlimited users and they're all free. We don't charge for users. Because we use file virtualization, it doesn't cost us anything to add those users and give them the ability to watch files. So we don't charge you for that, which is really important. And because Strada doesn't host media, we don't charge for storage either. Strada doesn't cost anything for storage. It doesn't cost anything for users. These are very fundamentally different approaches to building a product. And that's why we're trying to solve some problems. Now look over on the right at phase 1. Our phase 1 are the features we've delivered today. So today you can connect to Frame.io, Dropbox, and Google Drive. That's our Cloud Connect. You can analyze video for like faces and objects and locations and words. We can do audio analysis, so we can transcribe it and we can translate it. We do about 100 languages, and then you can export that and you can search the metadata. So those are the things for phase one. That's what we built over the last 18 months. So I want to show you a quick demonstration of these features. So the first thing is, have you ever wanted a single place for your entire creative team to interact with? This is the core objective of Strada. We are a collaboration platform, and we want to live at the center of your entire workflow. To do that, you have to be able to invite unlimited people to your project and make unlimited projects. So if I go into Strada here and I just click on my name, you can see here, this is going to be my workspace panel. This is where I set up my projects. All of these are projects that I have. And if you see here on the little left here, I see this little picture of people. Here, I can invite as many people as I want. So I can invite them in bulk, but I don't have to be worried about who I can bring to my project and how much it costs. Again, Strada's unlimited users, and that's the first key to allowing people to collaborate together. The second key is getting access to media. Here you can see I can connect to Google Drive, Dropbox, and Frame.io. I've got all three of those connected, so I can browse through all those projects. So if I go into my little drawer here at the bottom, this little drawer, let me make this a little bigger for you. This drawer has my Google Drive, my Dropbox, and my Frame.io, and I can browse through all my assets inside of Google Drive, Dropbox, or Frame.io, and I can go right to those assets, go right into material, and start seeing assets right there. So I'm actually virtualizing these files from Dropbox, Google, and Frame.io, and I'm able to see them and just go through my entire folder structure and see what's in there and start interacting with that. So that's why your storage is already in the cloud. You already pay for that, but now you can share it with more people. And then you see at the top here, I can make different projects. And so I can move these assets from Dropbox, Google, and Frame.io into Strada and start to analyze all of them. Kyle asks, is data gathered during the analysis phase fed back into Strada's own model, or does the client data that's scanned during analysis remain separate? For example, if my client asks me whether or not their data gets fed into the model, would I be able to tell them that it doesn't? Kyle, that's such an awesome question. The answer is Strada is built inside a virtual private cloud. And what that means is we do not send your footage out to third-party AI models. We self-host the models, and those models only live inside of your account. Therefore, when you analyze footage, it does not train the model externally. Your media doesn't go outside of our virtual private cloud, and your data doesn't go outside our VPC. So the model does learn based on your footage, but it only learns on your footage in your account. So it doesn't, it's much more secure. And that's the answer your client would want to know is if you teach Strada a face for your client, only your account knows that face. And that's useful to your client because now you never have to tag that face ever again, but it's secure and it's inside. So that's a great question, Kyle. Really, really good question. Okay. So here's another issue. Have you ever had trouble finding a line of dialogue from a script? This is really common. Strada is going to become one of the most advanced dailies or rushes tools ever. It's so great for dailies and rushes. And here's why. If you look at this project here, I have 613 takes. Okay. Oh, sorry. It's going up. 661. So in here are tons and tons of files, right? We got lots of footage here. Okay. So now if I could break this down by day, which is fine. So if I went to day one, a lot of people, when they do dailies, they'll break it down by day. So we'll see, here's all the day one shots. Okay, great. I could go to day two and we could see that. But see, the problem with dailies like this is you have to remember what day you shot what. Like, what day were we in the diner? What day were we at the gas station? What day was this actor or that actor there? But see, I can also just click on all. And if I click on all 661 assets, if I know a line of dialogue that I'm looking for, I can find it. Check this out. If I search for the phrase, grab a few extra things, this is a line of dialogue that's delivered. And look at this, quickly, the shots are already pulled. So I can click on an asset here. It'll load the asset. I search for the word grab. It'll take me right there and I can hit play.
Yeah, she just needs me to grab a few extra things.
I could go to the next take, right? Because that was a version of a take. And I could say, well, can I see an alternate version of that take? Because maybe they gave a different version. And we can see right here another cut.
Yeah, she just needs me to grab.
Right. And I could even go to another take, right? And you can see here how fast we can go through. We can find the line. We can go right there and play it back.
Yeah, she just needs me to grab.
Okay, that's good. I don't want to.
So this quickly, just knowing a line of dialogue, your director, your producer, your writer, they can instantly find a line of dialogue and go through and see those versions. But remember, we got these 6 takes and there were 661 at the source. And just because I knew a few words of dialogue, I was able to pull those takes and review them and make some decisions like that. Really powerful. Dude Guy from YouTube says, are you thinking about using OTIO to get all your timelines to other NLEs? Dude Guy, excellent question. The answer is yes. We actually have some metadata that's already capable of that. But we are building a timeline. I'll show you a picture in a few minutes of our timeline, which is being built right now, and it will support OTIO. So you can search in Strada, you can trim your clips in Strada based on the metadata, and then you could send that to Resolve or Premiere or Final Cut or Avid via OTIO or XML or EDL. So Dude Guy, you're totally on the right track. That's exactly how this works. And what's cool about what people might not realize, Dude Guy, what you're realizing is that in a collaboration platform, the editors aren't the only people that should be editing, right? Like your editor is your main editor, but other people can start pulling clips, finding things, and assembling ideas, almost like sketches or paper edits. And those are the types of things that Strada will be able to help you do so that it's not always relying on the cutting room to do all that stuff for them. Okay, here's another example. Have you ever had trouble finding a video clip that you know exists? What if there's no sound and you just need to find that video asset because you know you have it somewhere? Well, check this out. If I go here, this is a project. You can see how fast I can switch between projects. Here's a project. It has 3,476 assets. This is a huge project. There's so much footage. This is nature footage. Tons and tons and tons of nature footage here, okay? And what's cool about this, if I don't know what is spoken, because it's all images, I could start to look for things. So if I search for like fire, all the shots with the fire, this is how quick Strada will do it. Those 3,500 assets, it will find all the shots that are with fire and give me all those moments, right? If I were to search for an animal like a turtle, I'm just doing this at random. It'll find me all the times it sees turtles. If I wanted turtle on the water, now I'm adding a compound search where it's only going to find turtles in the water versus if I saw it, I could find it on the land. If I said like sand, can we find turtles with sand or turtle on the beach or something like that, right? If I wanted to find something like a grassland, something really basic, like grassland shots. Now we're going to see lots of grassland shots. And you could see like there's obviously like kind of these vast grassland shots. If I said I wanted birds, now it's only going to filter down birds and grassland shots, which is great. We see these ostriches, right? So that's really good. But then I could also say, how about a giraffe? And now I'm combining grasslands plus birds plus giraffes. And now we have all of those. And if I look at my labels here, I can see bird, giraffe, grassland, wildlife, and it's finding those elements automatically here. And Dude Guy makes a point. This is a great tool for story producers. And I'll show you how the story producers can really use this next, because we're about to show a really valuable feature for story producers. But what I just showed here is how fast, watch this. If I say shark, if I find shark, I can start looking for images of sharks, right? But remember, Strada also understands language, right? So here I can easily find pictures of sharks. But if I were to go to the word shark, I could go like this. And now, if we type shark, it'll take us to a part of the episode where shark is spoken.
A great white shark.
So we can search both visuals, right? Because of the visual tags. And you can see here, if I let's see here, if we go great white shark, we can see great white shark is tagged right here, and we know what's happening right here. But we can also search for great white shark in the actual transcript as well. So you have a multi-pronged approach to being able to do these searches. And if I wanted to take all the shark shots, so dude guy, here's something powerful for story producers. If I wanted to take all the shark clips, and here it's finding something like 79 of them, what I could do is make a new bin and call this shark. And I could grab all of these shots and put them in the shark bin. And now I've just created a bin of just sharks. So I used my filtering to actually generate our ability to do that. Austin, I just had that fail on me. So sometimes it doesn't work. But I don't know. Let me try that again. If I grab these shark shots, there we go, and I drag them into the shark bin, that's what I'm supposed to be able to do. If that doesn't work, I got to figure out what's wrong. So I've got an error right there, and that didn't work. So my guess is if I do it in 2 batches, maybe that will work. If I do 18 shots first, and we'll try that. There we go. So I did it in a smaller batch. And maybe that's going to help it a little bit. So got some batch issue works. This is a product in beta. So there are times where we need to do that and be a little bit more careful. But there, I moved it in smaller batches, and now I should be able to click on my shark bin and see my shark shots in my shark bin. And there they are. So here's my shark bin that I've created. So we'll keep working on bugs in the beta. I should be able to add all those assets, but we'll keep working on that. Okay, next thing is, have you ever had an interview that was recorded in a language you don't speak? This is also really good for story producers, because a lot of times when you have a project that has a foreign language, it really makes the workflow very difficult. Check this out. Here, I'm going to search for the word painting, and it's going to find this section where this woman here is talking about the word painting. I'll put up the captions. I'm going to hide these angles here. But I want you to listen to her voice.
开始学习素描，然后学习山水画。
So here we can hear Cioni is actually speaking in Chinese. She's speaking Mandarin. And so I am able to do a double transcript. So here, if I click on ZH, which is the code for Mandarin, here I can actually see the transcription in Mandarin, or I can switch to English, and I can see them both at the same time.
2012年的时候，我跟随我的美国丈夫。
So you could say she talks in 2012. She moved to Houston. There is 2012. That is Mandarin for that story. And then if I click in the English, we can see the same section here. So she moved to Houston with her husband. So this is a very powerful way for you to be able to search and read and understand foreign language. And here's something coming very soon, very soon. We're trying to get this out as quickly as possible. Maybe Austin could share. We know this is coming soon. And that is, we are able to do transcription summaries. Summaries mean I don't have it just yet. It's coming very soon, but I could take this transcription and I could choose to summarize it, and it would take an hour-long interview and allow people to read the summary of it. Similar to like when you take a Zoom call, you get a summary after a meeting, right? You do an online meeting, you get that summary in your email. Strada is about to release a feature where you can do that to your videos. So you can summarize videos. This is great for producers because they can read the video summary really quickly. It's also great if you make YouTube episodes because you hate making those descriptions, right? Like you make a YouTube video and then you have to write the description. It's so hard. But in Strada, you can upload the YouTube video and then you can analyze it and then you can have it transcribe it and then you can have it make a summary for you. And you can make the summary long, medium, or short, and you can do it in paragraph form or bullet form. So you have a lot of flexibility there. It's a really cool feature that you're going to love. Okay, next up, have you ever wanted to watch multicam dailies? Well, maybe you've noticed we are doing something really interesting. Strada is the only product in the world, check me on this, it's the only product in the world that can actually read files in the cloud, sync them in the cloud, and play back multi-camera in the cloud. These files are not multi-cammed at the source. They're not rendered together. Look at this. I can show you B camera, A camera, and audio. See, the audio says 1C take 5. Look at the slate, 1 Charlie take 5. I got B camera audio, A camera audio, and then look at the clip name. The clip, 1 Charlie take 5. So I can search for, 1 Charlie, and it'll find all the slates that are 1 Charlie. So look at that quickly. So if I made a bin called 1 Charlie, I could take all these, put those in a bin, and now I've done a sub search of the 1 Charlie material. There it all is, right? And now I've got this sub search because it understands the slate information through the audio, but more importantly, I'm able to look at these in a multicam form. So if I wanted to search for, I'm going to go back to the full media here. Let me look at all the clips. If I wanted to search for the word cheers, it will automatically find all the takes where someone says the word cheers. It'll pull those as a multicam, and we can see that cheers is spoken there. So if I click on another asset here, we could see the results. Let me refresh. Sometimes you have to refresh. It's one of the problems with the beta is you'll have to refresh the app to get things to show up sometimes. We're still working on that. But let me try one more time. We'll go cheers. And here I can click on the word cheers and it'll play back that section.
Cheers. Cheers.
So here we can find a really fast way to see multicam. And remember, since these are not rendered together, I can hide one angle and we can see just B camera, or I could hide B camera and show just A camera. So, or we can see them at the same time, right? And you can see the time codes are locked and they're playing back at the same time. So this is automatically done in the cloud. There is no product in the world that can take multicam picture and sound, sync it in the cloud together. I'll show you actually how to do that a little later, but it's a really powerful way to do multicam and view your files in multicam. And the last one here, have you ever wanted to have your media automatically logged for your nonlinear editor, for your editing software? Well, check this out. Once I analyze my media, I have the ability to export it. And so I can export in Final Cut, Resolve, Avid, Premiere, or a generic CSV file. And so when I do that, if I go to a product like Resolve, check this out. This is going to be small, so I apologize for the size, but look at this. In the keyword column, all of this information here was automatically logged by Strada. All of this came automatic. Think how long it would take you to log all this. So now, if I put this in thumb mode and I want to search, I could search for a character like Flo. It'll find all the characters of Flo. If I wanted to search for the character Beck, it'll find Beck. If I wanted to find Richard, it'll find the character Richard. There he is. If I want to search by a lake, it'll find shots of the lake. Or if I wanted to search for a keyboard, it'll find shots of a keyboard, right? So it's really, really powerful. And if I want to do a compound search, I want to find Beck backpacking by the lake. And here we can see this is the character Beck backpacking by the lake. And so we're able to find that in our editing software because Strada already logged it for us. And so all of that ties back to here. If I did the exact same thing, so here I am in Strada, and if I search by the character Beck, backpacking, let's see here. If I wanted Beck, it'll find all the Beck shots. This is where this source came from, backpacking, and then we say by the lake, and it finds those shots right there. And here is the same moment. So we're finding the same stuff. This metadata is all captured here, and then it's shared back to Resolve, and in this case, Resolve in this area. So very powerful way to transmit the metadata here. Yeah, so it's really, really, really powerful way to do searching. Okay, so we talked about our core and we just demonstrated some of the phase 1 features. But let's talk a little bit about where we're going. Where is Strada going in 2025? Because we delivered the first 2 pillars of the platform, but we're doing 2025 right now. Well, here's what we're doing. In phase 2, we are building right now local storage connect. What that means is you will be able to connect your local hard drive or a RAID or a SAN or a NAS into Strada. So imagine you go into Strada, and remember earlier, if I want to connect a drive, we'll give this a second to load here. Here it comes. If I want to connect a drive, when I add a drive, you'll be able to add a RAID here or a bunch of hard drives or even a camera magazine. Any local storage tool can connect here. Once that's connected, you can now browse through those assets in Strada, meaning you're taking your hard drive. Imagine this no longer is Dropbox. This is actually your local RAID. And now you can add users who can remote collaboratively review. Do you understand that? You can have a file on your RAID and someone else can remote review it. They can play it back and they'll be able to comment on it. There is no technology in the world that you can comment on a file on someone else's hard drive in their house. That's what we're building. Remember at the beginning, I talked about our files are all over the place. Most are on hard drives, some are in clouds, and that makes collaboration hard. So we're trying to remove the need for cloud storage altogether. And if all your media is on a RAID, then shouldn't you just have all your people be able to connect to that RAID? That's what we're building. Now you might say, but I don't have the bandwidth in my house to support that. Remember, Strada is a file virtualization engine, which means we don't, if you have a 4K ProRes file on your RAID, we're not, and someone wants to play that file, we're not going to send them the 4K ProRes file. We're going to virtualize the file so they can see it, but they're not being given the whole file. Here's an example. The video you're seeing of me right now, I'll stop sharing my screen so you can see this high quality, right? Look at the quality of my screen. This camera is a Panavision DXL camera. This source file is 1,000 megabits per second. I don't have a gigabit per second internet. I'm sending you through Zoom and YouTube 2 megabits. But it's 1,000 megabit source coming to you at 2 megabits. And if this quality is sufficient for you, like a Zoom call, we're taking the same technology and applying it to QuickTime movies on your hard drive. So on your hard drive, you'll connect to Strada, and Strada will project assets off your hard drive to all of your users so they can make comments, they can watch it, they can sync files, they can review it, they can search, all that stuff. Then we will move into collaborative editing so that you could bring those files into your editing system, but the hard drive is in someone else's house, right? Because we're going to virtualize those files to your editing system. We're also building an editor ourselves, but the editor we're building is just for paper edits. When Dude Guy was earlier talking about story producers, this is going to be really great. I'll show you that on the next slide. And then we're doing more AI automations. Today, our AI automations are like analyzing faces and locations and text and transcriptions and translations, but we'll also be adding automations like noise reduction, audio sweetening, and color correction and things like that, just to help speed up the process because it's fast and easy. Check this image out. This is a picture of the Strada timeline. This is a work in progress. We are not finished with this, but this gives you a sense that you'll be able to search in Strada, find the clips through search, bring them into a timeline, trim them down, and then export an OTIO list or an XML list so other people can access this. So this is where we're going. It's not designed to be Premiere or Resolve or Final Cut or even CapCut. It's designed to be a playlist editor or Reels editor to make paper edits. And it will help your line producer, story editor, producer, director, anyone that wants to put these together, especially with our transcriptions, where you could start to search by subject matter in transcriptions, and it would assemble that in a timeline. Okay, so that is a lot of the demonstration of the product. Now, how do you get to use it? Well, Strada is free to sign up. You can sign up today at strada.tech, and you can start connecting a cloud and analyzing media. But because it's a beta, I recommend you refresh often. You saw me having to refresh a few times. We've got some refresh issues that we're still working on. So we ask you to be patient. It's a beta. You got to be a little patient, but it is getting better every day. I recommend logging out daily, and that kind of helps clear cache. And we are pushing new versions all the time. So that's happening all the time. And we recommend using Chrome, but you could try other ones. Now, we want your feedback. In order to make this product better, we need your feedback. So to do that, please join our Discord. Pete is going to put in the chat access invitation to our Discord. And if you want to join our Discord server, you can ask us questions. There's support there. There's update information there. So please give us the feedback on bugs and things like that in our Discord because it's the best way we can help you solve problems. Now, a couple things that are not supported yet. Strada does not support stills or documents yet. We really believe this is great for photography, all this searching and analyzing and the ability to leave files on a hard drive. If you're a photographer, you leave files on your hard drive, you don't have to upload them to the cloud with Strada. You can share directories and projects to your clients, and they can just read it off your hard drive instead of you having to pay for cloud storage. That's where we're going with this later this year, but we don't have stills and documents working yet. Manual tagging is coming. Austin, we need you to tell us when that's coming. I've had this slide for a while, so let us know when manual tagging is coming. It's close. The progress bar is about half working. So when you run 500 assets, you don't really know when it's done. So you have to refresh. I'll show you where that is. In the upper right here, there's this little icon, these two circular arrows. If I click on that, it will show me the progress of the job I'm running, but it is not updating dynamically. You have to refresh to see how far the job is. So that's one of the things that we're working on. Support resources. Well, I'm about to do one more demonstration and show you how to bring in files and analyze and transcribe them from scratch. I'm going to do that right now. If you want a copy of the footage I'm going to demonstrate with, you can have that. So Pete will put in the chat a link. And if you're on YouTube, you could email us at beta@strada.tech, or you can email us at info@strada.tech, and we will get you that link if you want this footage, because you might be watching this on YouTube tomorrow. So we'll send you a link. Just email us beta@strada.tech and ask for the demo footage. We'll send it to you. And then we also have a support channel. This is really cool. Again, if you look in the upper right, there's this little question mark. If you click on the question mark,
Strada is a cloud.
There's a whole tutorial system here. So if you forget how to generate transcriptions, you just click on that and it will show you how to generate transcriptions. If I forgot how to export to Final Cut Pro, I can click on Final Cut Pro and it will start, giving me the Final Cut Pro experience. And so all of our little tutorials are built into the app. Again, you can find those in the upper right in the question mark, and that way you can find out how to, solve little problems if you need it. Okay, so let me do a demo. I'm going to do a demo from scratch. So I'm going to start by making a brand new project. I'm going to call this project Jan 21. Now, this is really cool. If you want to have anything imported in your project automatically transcribed, you can turn that on here. So let's just say if it's an asset that you want transcribed automatically, you can do that, and you're just telling it to happen at the project level, or you could analyze for things at the project level. This means anytime you bring an asset into this project, it'll automatically kick off these analytics. But remember, it's going to deduct from your credits. And so you just want to know that. Today, I'm just going to do it manually. So I'm not going to set up my automatic transcription. Some people do that. There's clients that all they do is transcribe every day. And so they just have it set up. They bring a file in. They don't even have to do anything. It automatically transcribes. I'm going to do it manually. So you can see I made a new project here called January 21. Notice all the other projects. What's cool about these projects is that every project I can click on, but I can also move them around, right? If I wanted to reorient these, I can change the order. And it's very, very cool that I can change the order of these things. So I'm going to leave January 21st here. And you can see it's blank. I got nothing going on. I've got a default bin here, and I'm going to make some updates to this bin. I'm going to call this bin Harlow, and I'm going to call this bin Rattled, and I'm going to call this bin Transcription. Okay, so I've made 3 bins. Now I want to populate those bins. So I'm going to open up my drawer here. I'm going to go into my Frame.io account. I'm going to go to beta demos and sample footage. And I see I made one for today's date. So now I'm just going into a folder here. I'm grabbing these assets and I'm just dragging them into the Harlow bin. So I'm not really importing. This is that file virtualization experience. If I go to Rattled, I go into Rattled, I'll grab these files, bring them in the Rattled bin, and then I'll go into Transcription and I'll grab these files and put them in the transcription bin. So now I can close the drawer. Now, I didn't actually move these files. These files can be now manipulated by Strada. They cannot be deleted, but they're automatically virtualized. We're just pulling the files and seeing them, but the files still live in their original location. So check this out. I'm going to go to the transcription and I'm going to bulk transcribe these files. And so it's going to kick off a transcription, and you can see a little animation here that shows the transcription is in progress. With Rattled, I am going to kick off an analytics. When I hit analyze, I can analyze different parts of the project. So I'm just going to analyze the items in this material. And then in the transcription here, when I hit transcribe here, I know that this is in Chinese, but I'm going to translate it to English. So I've chosen the source language as Chinese. I'm translating it to English, and I'm running that. And so now it's going to start running a transcription here in English. We'll come back to that. If I go back to Harlow, I want to show my favorite thing. This is my favorite thing in Strada. Remember here, we've got A camera, B camera, A and B, A and B. We see our files. 1 Charlie, take 5, 2 Frank, take 4, and 2 Frank, take 5. Here it's a big mix. Watch this. This is the only product in the world that can do this in the cloud. I'm going to sync these together by time code, and it's a complete random, I'm not, I can do these all together. And in about 3 seconds, if it's more clips, it'll take a little bit longer, but that quickly, we are able to assemble A and B camera. You see this, 2 Frank, take 4. Look at the name of the clip. It renamed it 2 Frank, take 4, and it automatically found that. I can see my B camera and A camera and audio. They all have overlapping time code. And now I can, and look at the transcription's already done. Remember, we already had the transcription. So if I search for the word countryside, check this out. So what's so cool about this is we're able to automatically find moments that we're looking for. Are all the transcriptions done? I bet they are. I'm going to hit refresh. I had to hit refresh. It stalled. Sometimes you have to hit refresh. You've heard me say that. I'm giving you a big warning. Here we go again. So let's see. The transcript should be coming. Countryside. And there we are. So now we can see this. So let's hear her say the line.
I lived upstate, the countryside.
Okay. So what we just did is we brought in files. We transcribed them, we sunk them, and then we searched the transcription and we played it back. And all that happened in front of you. Rewind 5 minutes and you'll see all of this just happened right in front of you. Import, sync, stack, transcribe, search. All that just happened. So you can see how fast this can make a daily's experience work. And I can share this with any of my collaborators, right? Because I can go to my collaboration space. If I click on my name up here, I can go onto the people, and I can have all these people added in, and I can decide what permissions they have. Are they an admin or a member, which allows them to have different permissions in a product. So very, very powerful way of doing that. Now, if we look at Rattled, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stack by time code. And if I hit refresh, remember, I have to refresh in order to see the progress. We can see here that the analyze is running. It's running the job. So there's 7 jobs running. That's the Rattled bin that I just started running. And I can see the first clip is done and it's doing all the clips. Remember, to see this advance, I have to hit refresh and click it again, and it'll show me the progress updated as I go through. So these files are actually analyzing right now. And when they're analyzing, you can see here, it says generating analysis. And so it's telling me the analyze is in progress. It's just not finished. While that's going, check this out. We're going to sync this material here. So we've got this project here. We've got this all sung. But remember, this was in Chinese, but now we have it in English. So we'll hit play.
大家好，我叫王健，我来自中国天津。
So we see that. But what if I actually wanted the transcription also in Mandarin? Well, check this out. I can click the additional transcription button, and I could say this is Chinese. So we've got that, but I'm not going to translate it. I'm going to select the WAV file and say run transcription. And what's going to happen here is now we are going to see a ZH. So now it's running a Chinese transcription that will not translate next to the English. If I wanted to export this, I can click SRT or VTT. If I open that up, now we can see, I'll make this a little bigger. Here is the transcription exported, so I could bring this into another tool. And then I can also click on this, and we will see if the Chinese is done. Our transcription is really fast. Shouldn't take much longer, maybe less than 10 seconds. So we've got our English transcription right here, which I can also turn on the closed captions. And you can see here, there's the captions visible. And then the Mandarin should be done any second. Let's give it 5 more seconds and see if it finishes up. 4, 3, there we go. Perfect. Right. There we go. So there's the Chinese transcription. So if I wanted to export this as an SRT, it will allow us to do that as well. So we can do both. You can also do transcription exports from here in bulk. So if you wanted to export a whole bunch of assets with a lot of transcriptions, you could do that all at once. So here is the Mandarin. And there you go. So now I can see my English and Mandarin next to each other that quickly, that easily. And I'll be honest with you, Strada is probably the cheapest transcription tool out there. It is so inexpensive. It's really, really great how fast and inexpensive it is. So we definitely recommend you give it a shot. Okay, I can see most of my analytics, or some of my analytics are done. So if I were to search by the word cat, well, it's not quite done. I'm still analyzing. The analytics is still in progress, but some of these are finishing now. So you can see here the things that it's starting to search for. So if I search for rat, it's going to find that. Here it's also going to find when she says the word rat, or when it sees a rat, or a coffee table. It might search for that and find that, or a phone and find that. So these are the clips that are analyzing. And you can see when I go to click on a clip that has the analytics complete, you can see down here at the bottom, these are all still generating. You can see down here at the bottom, it's looking for all these elements, and it's logged where they're all located. So it finds when something happens and where it happens. So I know these things are taking place. So very, very cool. So where that leaves us as we finish up here, I just want to ask you, those of you that are watching, to be honest, let us know if you feel this is valuable. Let us know. Like we're looking for insight in whether or not you see value in the features that we've built so far. And remember the features that are coming. And that's one of the important things. Strada is a collaboration platform. You got to start learning how to move all your projects in, get your people in, learn how to build projects and workspaces. Actually, I do want to show that real quick. In the upper left here, we have the ability to change workspaces. This is a really powerful way to collaborate. A workspace can be used in two different ways. One way is to have a workspace where you have all your projects, right? You saw Rattled, Harlow, Planet Earth, Chien Wang, IBC. These are all projects inside of my workspace. But I could also make a workspace dedicated to one project. Now, a workspace costs $20 a month. That's it. 20 bucks, unlimited users, unlimited projects. But see, if I make a workspace, this workspace is Rattled the film. Now I made all my projects related to just that film. So I have my dailies, my composer material has all the music that's being pulled. My cuts has my output. So these are my rough cuts, my VFX shots, my behind the scenes material, right? All that, everything I share or the trailer, all of that is now different projects. So if again, all of these projects in the Rattled workspace means Rattled is the project, and anyone that's invited to it is just invited to the Rattled workspace. That's all they work on, right? So that's one way to build it. The other way, as I mentioned, is to just make a workspace and have all your separate projects. But then you can only separate things by bins. So workspaces, you can see how fast you can switch between workspaces. It's really cool and powerful. So it's a very smart way to start learning how to organize. Remember, Strada is a collaboration platform that lives in the center of your workflow of your video production. And so you want to be able to bring people into it and bring your projects, and then you're just virtualizing your files into it. So that's kind of how it works. Now, how do we charge for it? Well, basically, each workspace is $20 a month. That's what it costs. It's 20 bucks a month. When you sign up for that workspace, you also get 20 hours of transcriptions or analytics for $20. So your $20 a month includes 20 hours of transcriptions or analytics. If you spend $60 a month, you can get 72 hours of transcriptions and analytics. So it's really easy to get that workspace for $20. And if you know you're going to have a lot of transcriptions and a lot of clips to analyze, like a big documentary, you might want to save some money and get the 72 hours of analytics for $60. If not, start with the $20 plan. Each workspace is 20 bucks, 20 hours every month of analytics. If you go over that $20, it's real easy math. You can pay $1 for every hour of additional analytics or transcriptions you need. So if you have a month and you have the $20 plan, you got a workspace for $20, you get 20 hours of analytics, but let's say you have 30 hours of footage, you just pay $10. And that will give you 10 extra hours of analytics. So it's so affordable. There is no transcription. We have the highest quality transcription out there. I challenge you to run transcripts. You'll see how amazing it is. Watch this. I want to show you one thing to show you how good the transcription is. If I search for the word scream, Strada is not just transcribing language, it's also understanding what is being said. So you can see here that the word scream isn't being translated or transcribed. It's actually an action, right? So it understands she screams. Or if I said like music, Strada's translation is so good, it knows when there's actually a song being sung. And so here we can click on a take where there's actually music being played. So if I click on music, it'll say, there you go. And now music's playing and she's actually singing and dancing, right? So it understands that this is musical. So this is like just another example of how deep Strada's transcription is. It's really good with dialects and accents, and it's really good with descriptions. And it's only $1 an hour extra when you need to add more to it. So that's what we wanted to go over today. Again, Strada is really new. This is really exciting for us to build an entirely new collaboration platform. Remember these key things: unlimited users, unlimited projects. Workspaces are just $20 a month. You can bring as many people as you want. You can have as many workspaces as you want and switch between them to separate your projects. Or you can just have one workspace and make a bunch of projects and drive bins to separate things out. Plus, the more you start to learn, you can connect your clouds, Dropbox, Frame.io, and Google Drive, and then you can bring those files into Strada, virtualize those files into Strada, and then you can play them back, collaborate with them, and watch your dailies and review. And what's coming is hard drive connections, right? We're going to connect to your hard drive, and we're going to be adding commenting, and we're going to be adding things like remote editing and remote review and live review, and the timeline editing and things like that. There's so much coming. We know it's early in the Strada world. It's a beta, but we're asking you to give it a try, give us the feedback, and start learning how to put all of your productions on this system. It won't work if you don't start really leaning into making it the center of the workflow. If Strada is just used for just transcriptions, it's not quite as powerful. It gets more powerful when you start doing everything in Strada, and then you tell us what features we need to build next, and we promise to prioritize those features. So I want to thank you for spending a little time with us. We know you're all very busy. We're here in California. It was it's almost 10 o'clock in the morning here, but I know you're coming from all over the world. And I just really want to say thank you for giving us a chance and giving us a try and being willing to look at a new workflow, because there's new things changing out there that are really exciting, and we hope to deliver them for you. So I hope to see you on Discord. Sign up for the Discord so that we can chat more. My email is right there. You can reach out anytime. I love talking to customers and helping solve your problems. I hope you have a wonderful week. Have a great time, everybody. See you on Discord. Bye-bye. Keep it running. 3, 2, 1.